Sometimes we're interested in answering a question about what happens to equilibrium price and quantity if we have an increase or a decrease in demand or an increase or decrease in supply. To answer those questions, all we have to do is draw a graph and analyze it on the graph. So let's take a look at how we do that. Here we have this graph of supply and demand. We can ask the question, what happens to equilibrium price and quantity if we have an increase in demand? If we have an increase in demand, we draw in a new curve to the right of the old one. So our old equilibrium was here at the intersection of D sub 1 and S sub 1. Our new equilibrium price is way up here. So it has increased. What about our equilibrium quantity? It was here. Now it's moved out here. So that has also increased. Now let's look at what happens if we have a decrease in demand. We draw in a new demand curve to the left of the old one. What happened to our equilibrium quantity? Well, it was here. Now it's down here. So it's decreased. Oh, that's our equilibrium price. What happens to our equilibrium quantity? It was here. Now it's there. So it has decreased. Now let's look at supply. What happens if we have an increase in supply? We have an increase in supply. We draw in a new supply curve to the right of the old one. And we're interested in what happened to our equilibrium price. Price is on this axis right here. Our old equilibrium was there. Our new one is here. It has decreased. What happened to our equilibrium quantity? Quantity is on this axis. Our old equilibrium is this point. Our new equilibrium is that point. So it has increased. Now we have one more. What happens if we have a decrease in supply? If we have a decrease in supply, we're going to draw in a new supply curve to the left of the old one. So, what happens to our equilibrium price? Well, it was at this point right here. Now it's up here. So it's increased. What happened to our equilibrium quantity? Was right here. Now it's moved to this point. So it has decreased. So we're prepared to answer questions about what happens to equilibrium price and quantity if we have an increase in demand, a decrease in demand, or an increase in supply, or a decrease in supply.